the sounding brass of youth that blows out its heart and stirs the souls of ordinary men, men that understand the silver notes and what the band means.
Obviously it's of national importance due to miners' strike 1984 and Cortonwood being at the forefront of it. But from a personal point of view, I worked at Cortonwood 17 years, and along with some others who was in group, and it's there as a reminder to the people of Brampton and beyond, and all them who worked at Cortonwood. It's for them.
When the mining industry was vibrant, what it provided, it didn't just provide jobs. It gave men and women pride, status. We were called the aristocracy of labour. We had position, we were sure of ourselves. We knew our place in society. With the closure of mines, that sense of self, that status, that pride, that position in society was badly shaken.
Over the next few years, the whole mood within the industry changed. People became totally disillusioned with all the various changes and the closures on it. The whole area began to disintegrate in terms of any revenue that were coming in. Local businesses has closed by the dozen. All the finances that the colliery had produced did not occur at that period, and therefore the money was not in people's pockets to spend that had been previously.
Like in every community and society, there were those that they couldn't handle the change, they couldn't handle the difference. Some would transfer to other pits, but eventually them pits closed after 5-10 years, and they were back to the same place again, what they were when Wath Main shut.
There was just not the jobs to go around. Employment rose in the late 80s to something, nearly 1 in 3 people was out of work. There were social problems. Young men and women became alienated. Drug taking, cannabis, cocaine and such drugs became common currency in a lot of our communities, and to a degree still are.
Most of the collieries have been completely demolished. The sites either been turned into housing estates, a few into additional industrial units, mainly containing call centres, but this has produced a small amount of work within the area. Other parts of the mines have been turned into golf courses, and the whole area generally has been massively cleaned up. The environment within the area is far better now than what it was during the 1950s, 60s, 70s, being much cleaner and much healthier.
Because in this area you could stand on a hill up towards Wentworth and you could look in any direction and see a coal mine or a coking plant bellowing smoke out and things like that. And obviously in them days we were concerned slightly about climate change, it were all coming in. But now in hindsight, when we look back 20 years, the only good thing, the real good thing for me is the environment, because it's a lot cleaner place to work.
The slag heaps that were the bane of everybody's life, are all landscaped and have trees on them. And then we get lower down the Dearne Valley towards Mexborough. There are the new opportunities for employment, the call centres, the warehouses, the small engineering works, the high-tech workshops. It's not an exaggeration to say, especially if you're a former coal miner, that the coal industry put the great in Great Britain. And I'm not talking about the grate on which we used to burn coal. I'm talking about the grate in Great Britain.
The other mining legacy which I think we must remember is the cost to human life that the mines created. Mining was a very dangerous occupation, and many deaths occurred within the area, from small individual accidents where only 1 or 2 miners were injured or killed, to the large major disasters like the one at Lundhill, where 169 miners were killed in one explosion, and some 79 miners killed at Dennery Main Colliery in 1912. And I think it's important that we do remember the role and the cost that these people paid within the area to produce the energy that the country needed.
I don't know how long this film will last for in schools. It might be 2 a year, someone might stick it in a cupboard, and someone might pull it out in 50 years off the internet or whatever. But you know, them kids were interested in them days, and you can draw kids into that. Now, I'm sure if we'd come as a group of miners to talk about mathematics, we would have lost them in the first 5 minutes. But we've got a story to tell, and really that's what we're doing here today. It was like a atomic bomb going off, really. Even though it's been a slow process, and we can never go back to them days, and I'm not saying I want to, but there's a change, and once you start change, it's hard to stop. So where it will end up in the next, where Wath will end up as a place, as a social place, as a, you know, a cultural place even, you can't see. It's just growing, and we'll see. Watch this space.